What's up? Welcome back to Left 4 Dead Garage. We're going to get back towards the Blueprint crate engines 383 swap here. It's a little dusty in the shop due to wannabe body work going on, but I've had it covered up and it's sealed up, so it's fine. So we got all our sensors swapped, oil pressure, water temp, gauge, all that fun stuff. So really, what this video is going to involve is let's remove some more parts. We're going to kick the carburetor to the side. We're going to kick this fancy new HEI distributor to the side. We're going to dump that mechanical fuel pump. We already robbed the water pump off of it. So, what are we replacing it with? Well, let me show you. We have got a whole pile of goodies here. So let's dive into this, because some of this stuff I've not even opened. So let's take a look. Oh yeah, we got a new aluminum water pump. Unfortunately, all they had was chrome in the reverse rotation, so Brad had to get chrome. So I guess we can peel this thing open. I mean, clearly it looks like a water pump. Tough stuff, part number 1675 AB. Reverse rotation, small block Chevy, long. It's actually a pretty good finish if you're into chrome parts. Not sure where it's made, but also comes with gaskets in case you're wondering. Energy suspension transmission mount. What else we got? Obviously you see the Holley Sniper. So this is the black, obviously 4150 kit. Factory refurbished kit, but it looks absolutely brand new. So if you go on Holley's website, you can go to there's a ton of refurbished stuff. And even if they do not have it in stock, you can sign up, and when they do get one in stock, they'll notify you. And that's exactly how he got this. And if I'm not mistaken, he saved several $100s on going with this kit. Same warranty and everything. And from what I understand, they are all boxed just like a brand new unit. I mean, honestly, unless they refinish them, there's not even like bolt head or washer marks or anything on this throttle body. That looks pretty good. What is this? Oh, we also bought the Holley ignition system. So the Sniper system got the ignition systems and the distributor. So if you run this, I think it's a dual sync distributor, and that ignition box, then the Sniper unit will control timing, just like an EFI car. Now it would run with the HEI or an MSD, but I believe you have to just typical vacuum advance. I think for optimal use, then you want it to control timing. But it looks like a MSD Pro billet, just black. Probably is an MSD Pro billet. I'm guessing this is the coil. This thing is ginormous. Comes with a plug boot. I guess you can modify your plug wire. This thing is massive. Giant heat sink on it. Pretty neat. comes with some mountain screws and one plug boot, terminal in. It's almost like Christmas, but well, it ain't nothing like Christmas. It ain't my Christmas. I'll just get to install it. I'll try like crazy to make this a very, very clean install. I try that. I try to do everything as well done as I possibly can. Whether it's a paying job or my job, you know, my own project. But you never know who's looking. Yeah, that'd be all right. Now, this motor is roller cam, and Blueprint stressed that he run a melanized gear, so he had to get, and it wasn't for sure whether this this Holley distributor had the melanized gear, so he did buy that. If you have a 1/2 inch shaft, which would be clearly this distributor, I would say some Mallory, and definitely MSD with a 500 shaft, then that's the gear you want with a roller cam. So do not run a cast gear on a billet roller cam. You will be back in the motor. So we covered, that goes to the coil. So we covered the actual unit. What else we got here? Efi Fuel Tank Kit. I'm guessing this is through Holley too. This fuel pump, however, is a Walbro copy. I think it's a 340. Yeah, a 340. It is a E85 compatible. Hopefully that will not give any problems. What we're going to do is just going to drop that inside, retrofit that down inside the sending unit of the truck. I figured for no more power than the motor makes and no harder than he was going to push it, then those factory fuel lines should be fine. Holley seemed to disagree. So we may be running full fuel lines and just use his. We may be running a new supply line and just use his return, the original OEM return. I'm not sure the brand of this hose. It's not made in China, it's made in Mexico, so it could be a Gates hose. I don't know. Oh, it's Earl's. Earl's vapor guard. This clearly came from Holley because he got Earl's push lock fittings. Several of those. Got a pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipe, 1 6AN to 3/8 barb. Some EFI hose clamps, 2 packs of those. Oh, well, here's the instructions. Holley Sniper Fuel System Kit. So you got 20 feet of hose, 110 micron filter, 7 clamps, and 4 fittings, and then another 3 fittings. Either way, this is what it comes with. So, definitely decked out in Holley parts, which is nice. So, I guess what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to pull the carburetor off this thing, roll it around on number 1. So I guess what we'll do is we'll snatch the carb off, roll it around on number 1. It's a TDC. Pull the distributor out, go ahead and stab that one in. Take this off, because I'm not going to pick this thing up with that EFI system on it. The chain gets right up close to the carburetor anyway. I don't have a lift plate. I've never used one. Probably should get one, but I always just go off the cylinder heads. So with that being said, we'll start taking some stuff apart. All right, let's see if we can get this gear knocked off here without too much fuss. Roll pin out, and it's a 5/32 punch. So let's tilt this back this way. The gear will pull right off. Clearly a different finish on that thing, it definitely looks like a heat treat type finish. This looks more like a parkerized finish. I'm going to start this roll pin in this gear before we get going. We'll just take that punch, keep it lined up. As you hit it, it'll knock the punch back out. And we have a melanized gear. So we'll take this other one and put it back in the sandwich baggie and the bubble wrap. We'll stick it back in the box. And just for somebody's sake, I'll write inside this box lid exactly what that's from. So that's how you swap a gear on a MSD distributor. Get this thing spun over on number 1. Alright, that's TDC. Number 1 is up. I mean, it's been ran, but it's not been ran long. However long they run them on the old dyno. If you're curious, it's an NGK plug, which I don't know why you wouldn't run an NGK plug. Part number BKR5E. So that's, looks like gasket seat. What is that, 3/4 reach plug? Let's check it, just out of curiosity. Yep, 3/4 reach. Close enough. So and for the most part, NGK has a shorter body from the actual hex to the end of the plug, so a little more forgiveness on headers. and it's just a better plug, in my opinion. I run NGK and everything. Pull that distributor. And it almost looks like the back of the intake and the distributor body are staked. Like when they set the timing, then they stake it with like a punch or something to know that, you know, I guess if they get it back under warranty and you've been fiddling with it, then that's one way to know, or maybe I don't have a clue. Ooh. Got some assembly lube. I'm going to let that drip off. So it must have like high vis blacklight compatible dye in it or something, so they could find leaks with the blacklight. That's what it looks like. I'm just guessing. You also have to install some O-rings on that distributor, because if you don't, you will have an internal leak. All right, there's your O-rings on the distributor. I'm gonna pull this cap. We'll figure out where we decide number one should be. I'm gonna say plug-ins on the passenger side. Make sure you coat it with the supplied sauce. If you don't have any type of moly, engine lube should be fine. They used to send comp cams with these distributors. Ugh. Comp cams break-in lube with these, but I guess they've switched. This is some gooey stuff. Thick. I say thick. I'm gonna put some on these O-rings. I'm making a mess. Oop. Alright, so your oil pump shaft isn't lining up. What do? Do you panic? No. It's much easier with the starter bolted to it. But we can just put a socket on the crankshaft and it will fall right in. Alright. A little bit of pressure down on that distributor, and it will eventually fall right into that oil pump slot. Look at there, right in place. All right, I'm gonna rearrange here and get the converter full of fluid, round up the flex plate, work on getting this motor off the stand, and marry this motor and trans together so we can get ready to send it home tomorrow. So hang in there, we'll get back to you. All right, well, we're out here messing with the old Blueprint 383 swap. It is married to the transmission. Got the motor mounts on, the new frame mounts in.
detents there. Hopefully it just stays out of the way. Kind of wish I'd have run it behind that now, but got the starter on. Hopefully that won't get in the way. Still need to get a fuel pump block off, and I may run out here in a little bit and get that. Calling for rain tomorrow or here soon, it looks like. So I'd like to kind of hustle and get this thing just sat down in there. That way we can stick the hood back on it and get it covered up, because I'm kind of sort of out in the rain when it does rain. So I'm gonna wrestle around, try to get this thing in without too much fuss. So wish me luck. Alright, well, I guess we'll wrap it up here. The motor and trans are now in their new home. So from this point, everything. I'm gonna do fuel pump, fuel lines, mount, all the ignition box stuff, all the EFI, Still have to get a fuel pump block off plate. The water pump. Tons of stuff, but for right now, this is where we're at. This is where I'll finish it off. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment below. And we'll see you on the next one, whatever that may be. Later.